Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
I'm sure a cat has been in this studio. That's not really the sound you want, is it? As you rapturously open your live stream in the morning. That's the one I was looking for. Cats. They have stepped up their campaign against me, have they not? If you saw yesterday's show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. More to say about that. Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where we'll go in just a moment to look at Portuguese citizenship test question number 27, everybody. Thanks to the help of Antonio F, our great vizinho Portuguese, our Portuguese neighbour, for your help in shaping that up. He's looked at all the questions now. We've had the Antonio F seal of approval. Some really good observations Antonio F had to make. So we'll go to question 27 and reveal the Portuguese A to Z, which he also had something to say about. The lanyard that I've pinned on the back wall, which is my back wall of Portuguese ephemera and memorabilia, doesn't look very good like that, does it? It doesn't send out the best possible message, perhaps. I hope you're well this morning. How are you doing? Do let me know in the chat. We haven't got Terence Austin, artist, joining us live and direct. He's joining us with his lovely smiling face, as captured on the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club session of Monday evening. Just looking at his cheerful face just cheers me up. I don't know about you. Paul Rees will be joining us at 8:20 this morning to update us on what he's been doing in central Portugal, and also how Pedrógão Grande, the scene of the terrible fires of 2017, has been regenerated since then, and what's been going on, and the part he's played in that to some extent as well, renovating buildings there, creating employment, creating interest, a real success story, I think, after a horrible situation. And that's when we arrived here in Portugal, my family, in 2017, and to see those fires was horrific. A horror in the history of Portugal, of course, from which we can only go up and out and upwards and expand beyond there. And Paul will have something to say about that when he joins us at around 8:20 this morning. Look, always a great chat with Paul, and we'll have a look at his latest renovation and the beautiful work he's been doing. And we'll find out if Casa Adelina has a proud new owner as well. Yeah, how are you doing this morning? Tudo bem, como está? Do let me know. Oh, hello. I'm talking of Central Portugal, Queen and Convict here with us this morning. Bom dia from Central Portugal. Nicely getting into the lingo. Oh, yeah, I added something to the Pop-In Portuguese resources at the Portugal Club as well. Big area to cover, Central Portugal. Interesting that there is no Western or Eastern region. You're right, absolutely. Although they used to say West is best when the town that I was in had 5 nightclubs in the 80s and 90s. It was a very different situation over here, and it was called Este. And Expo Este is also the West Expo Centre. So I think the Portuguese call this the West rather than the Silver Coast, to be fair, although we foreigners don't refer to it as the West of Portugal. East, you're right. I mean, the East is central until it gets to Spain, is it not? Good morning to you, Mike, as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Oh, we haven't heard this for a while, and we haven't had one of these submitted for a while. Here's Mike bidding good morning to Central Portugal, actually.
Bom dia, Portugal!
Superb. 913-590-303 if you'd like to send me one of those, or your photographs, or a message this morning. You can also keep in touch with me through the Portugal Club as well, theportugalclub.com. We're having a nice steady trickle of members. Who doesn't like a steady trickle first thing in the morning? Lots to tell you about as well. Okay, yeah, so Paul there. Look, that's one of his, I think that's Casa Adelina in the background behind him there. So Paul at 8:20 this morning. Talking about trickles or not thereof, thank you very much to everybody who's watching the channel. This is a lot to do with all the shorts we publish that grab people's attention. It's a tricky one, actually, striking a balance between publishing long-form content, which we do. I mean, this is what we're doing every morning, isn't it? 60 minutes or thereabouts of live streaming, pretty much a long form by most standards. But it's the shorts that attract attention. And I don't mean my what I'm wearing over my nether regions. Hold on a minute. I made myself cough just thinking about that. Shorts, as in tiny snippets of video, which seem to be consumed avidly on YouTube and contributing to the figures you see in front of you. So thank you very much. Much appreciated your happy birthday to you, Mel, I think. Is it aniversario parabéns a você for your birthday or a different sort of anniversary? Let us know, Mel, so we can celebrate that with you. But look, 62,000 views on Facebook. I think that's just my September figures. That's not too shabby, is it? Not bad at all over there. All the numbers are up and on the podcast as well. So thank you to each and every one of you who contributes to that. Thank you very much indeed. Much appreciated. Right. What else was I going to show you? I have got lots to show you this morning. Tonight at 6, if you like motor racing, you might like to join us for the Positive Echo podcast. And Miguel Franco, who will be visiting us later on this year here in Portugal, will be our special guest on the Positive Echo podcast. I'm just trying to find a nice image of him. The slide that we are using for the show is perfect for that. He also sent us a photo of himself from the track as well, which I'll show you too. Yeah, so Positive Echo tonight is with Miguel Franco, the High Flow CEO. We've been talking about little trickles and high flow this morning. So, yeah, all of that, covering every possible conceivable angle. And I'm struggling to find what I would say. The cat's been in here tinkering with my save settings as well. Let me see. Quick access, that's what does it. Do you have the same trouble? You've downloaded something and you're trying to find it and you can't find it anywhere. Oh yes, and I've got a cat on a laptop picture for you as well, for those of you who like that sort of thing. This is Miguel Franco. He runs something called High Flow CEO, where he uses the racetrack to, well, it's a metaphor, isn't it, for performance in life, whether you're an entrepreneur or just going about your daily business. Miguel Franco has something to say about that, and he'll be talking to me and Gary Coulton this evening about that. If you're feeling, by the way, I've got another meme to show you, the one that's about exhauster-whelmulated. Are you feeling exhausted, overwhelmed and overstimulated? That is officially a condition. Well, I don't know if it's official, but there is a condition of that kind. Well, it's a meme. Okay, it's not a condition, it's just a meme. And I've addressed it in my Portugal resident column, which will be coming out tomorrow. I think I might ask Miguel about that tonight. Here he is, fresh from the racetrack. He's a karting enthusiast. As a youngster, he karted with that presumably is the right verb to use in the past tense. There, he karted. Excuse me, I've just karted. He karted with Ayrton Senna in Brazil. Moved to California, and he'll be coming to see us in November here in São Martinho de Porto in Portugal. So looking forward to seeing him in real life and meeting him virtually tonight at 6:00. And then the long-awaited, well, at least by me, I don't know if anyone knows about this, and at short notice, this is the only option available to Miguel. Wednesday nights, that's a bit pale on the screen, isn't it? I might have to do something about that. But instead of using red and bold and angry colours because of our open-hearted discussions beyond the algorithm, no, they're open-hearted discussions beyond the algorithm, beyond our personal algorithms as well and prejudices. And I'm open to all kinds of subjects on a Wednesday night, the first of which to launch this Beyond Our Algorithms series. Should foreigners fear Chega? We'll be asking that question. And Miguel Nunes Silva, the Chega representative in Eiras, will be with us. He's also the director of the Instituto Trezeno as well, Trezeno. So he'll be talking with us at 8:00 this evening. Come along and perhaps either leave your prejudices at the door or have them tested directly with Miguel Silva. We often talk about others, don't we? And we other people in the abstract, and don't talk directly to them about what they've got to say. I mean, having talked to them, we still might find them odious and their ideas repulsive. But I think it might be some sort of progress to address directly our concerns and ideas about people with the people in consideration who are actually we can speak to directly, which is what I've organised for this evening. Upcoming, also, if that wasn't controversial enough, Is this controversial? I don't know. Open-hearted discussion beyond the algorithm. That's the series. Second in the series, 22nd of this month, I believe, subject to confirmation. Seeing the other, talking of othering again, seeing the other, understanding Islam with our friend Abdul Alim. He's the Secretary of External Relations at the. I've not said this before, so I'm going to give it a go now, and I might need somebody's help with this. He is the Secretary of External Relations of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association in Portugal. Now that wasn't so difficult, was it? Okay, so upcoming, the new open-hearted discussions that are beyond the algorithms, our personal algorithms, and having fascinating conversations. I'm sure I will do my best to have everybody heard and to endeavour to understand people's points of view. And if you've got concerns, bring them, and let's in a respectful, obviously legal, and open-hearted context to discuss these things. Okay, not my birthday today. Mine's near the end of the. I know it's not your birthday today. Oh, I think I said Thunderduck, and then I said happy birthday. Yes, it's Mel's birthday actually, Gemini. Good morning to you. Nice to see you as well this morning. So parabéns a você. We need a proper jingle for people's birthdays, but for the time being, Mel, may I wish you a very happy birthday and many happy returns. Squash tomatoes and stew to you this morning. Matty's also in. Bom dia, alegria a todos e feliz quarta-feira. Good to see you, Maddie. There are reports that many people still haven't received any compensation for the 2017 fires. That's outrageous, is it not? I imagine Paul will know about that. That's where he lives and operates in central Portugal, having moved from the Algarve to do so. A great idea. A great move, as it's turned out for him. Happy Mercury Day, as it is today, Wednesday, or Woden's Day, Odin's Day, Buddha's Day. I didn't know it was Buddha's Day as well. Water Day and Quarta-feira. Thank you very much, T-Duck, for all of those. Basically, bon dia is our quick way of saying that here in Portugal. I had the most extraordinary experience in a mall, shopping the shopping mall, a kiosk, a big shopping centre. A kiosk merchant tried to rip me off. What? I stood my ground and filled out the complaints book. The merchant was very mad and called the police. Oh my goodness, T-Duck, what have you been up to? The police arrived, talked to everyone, sided with me, and made the merchant give me my money back. He was not happy. So you got mauled in the shopping mall. Yeah, absolutely. That was a shopping mall there. The police were very kind, and I made a new Portuguese friend who was very upset. I'm sorry I'm giggling. I mean, it sounds horrible, but I am so glad that it ended that way. And what an interesting situation to find yourself in. Police are very kind, and this sounds like a dream, doesn't it? This actually happened yesterday to T-Duck by the sound of it. And I made a new Portuguese friend who was very upset about the way I was treated. Well, what a lovely outcome. Hence my giggling and heartwarming end acknowledged there in that story. How fantastic! But it sounds like a horrible process that led up to that. Did you what other takeaway can the rest of us deduct from that, T-Duck? What sort of kiosk? What should we be looking out for? Wow, it was surreal. I'll share more details with you on Friday. Yeah, okay, maybe after the shock and the adrenaline have been absorbed completely by then. Wow. I had a great consumer experience in a bank. Yes. Maybe, do you think you are still dreaming this morning, hearing these things? T-Duck's story and me saying I had a great time in a bank yesterday. Actually did. The reason I was in the bank with Mrs. M was to say to the staff there, well practiced, olá, boa tarde, tudo bem? Podemos abrir a nova conta empresarial, a business account. We have a Portuguese business, folks. Me and Mrs. M now have an LDA. It's only taken just over a year. It was a little bit of a spanner in the works, but we, instead of going the approach of trying to get a specific company name, we went with one of the, you had to choose three of the hilarious titles or business names that are computer generated or have been thought up during lunch break by the interns. Actually, no, in a Portuguese lunch break, everyone is actually at lunch. They might have been writing them down on serviettes, actually. The one we chose, because my wife is a beautiful redhead, was the Indelible Ginger. I don't know who came up with that, but one of the name choices was Indelible Ginger LDA. We plumped for that with two others, which I can't remember now, but they were also similarly hilarious. And we have been awarded, which is what it feels like, actually. We've been awarded Indelible Ginger, and we're opening a bank account successfully, I might say. I met a fantastic bloke in the bank. That's what I was looking for. I think I can give myself 10 out of 10 for the approach yesterday. Learn the right Portuguese, go in, use it, follow it up with perhaps, because this is a very technical situation and I think we're in there over an hour. There are things that you might not be able to keep up with if you try and stay in Portuguese. So, desculpa, fellows, sou pouco português. And at that point, Philippe said, so would you like to speak English from here on in? It'd be so great if we could, if you don't mind. So a great experience. Well done to BCP, Millennium BCP. Not everyone gets to say that every day of the week or ever, perhaps, in some people's experience. My early experiences with them haven't been brilliant, but it's about finding the individual and the branch. That's the key to finding a successful banking relationship here in Portugal. It's about people and branches. It's not necessarily about the brands. I think the people who work for the corporates and the brands are under great pressure to fulfill those corporate expectations. So you're going to be looking for a nice individual in a location that suits you. And we did. We found a location just down the road. That was the part of our choosing of this particular bank. We could go to it. Our other business bank is somewhere else in the country where we used to live. So we now have a business bank on our doorstep with a great contact who can speak English with us when things get a little bit challenging and difficult. And we successfully did that in one visit. Yes, one visit to a bank, and got the job done. So yes, tell us more on Friday. It really wasn't horrible. I stayed calm and chatted with other customers. Excellent. NDA. And not LDA, not NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Mrs. M has to stop talking about you. Yeah, Mrs. M. Bon dia to you, Sarah, as well. And talking about Portuguese, the new B1, B2 course started Monday, first lesson. And yesterday I tried to do the homework. I see the emphasis there on tried to do the homework. There is no try, Matty. Do or do not. Since I could only do it with DeepL, I think I should do A1, A2 again. There's not much of it stuck. Adrian, good morning to you. Midweek for the Germans and Russians, and also the fourth day for the Greeks. It's no wonder the UN can't get things done when people are celebrating different days of the week simultaneously. The Christians calendar, how do I say that? Bobby O'Reilly will tell me. He's joining us as well later on. I'm going to the show home, which is now open at Cidade de Maio. If you're in Lisbon on Friday, or over the weekend, actually, I'm only going to be there on Friday, or do a little bit of live streaming from Cidade de Maio. We have a show home to share with you folks, or Bobby does. Bobby will be here. I think maybe Claudio as well from the site. So save the date then. You can visit Friday, Saturday and Sunday if you want a little bit of extra entertainment beyond the show home experience. It's here, it's ready, and I'm going to be delighted to be there on Friday. So looking forward to going there. I think we're going to be meeting Sarah Davey there as well, and Bobby's on the show to talk about it just briefly this morning at around 8:45 as well, talking about Portuguese. Oh, we've done that. Well done, Matty. Keep up the good work. And yes, started B1 and B2. Big jump up in difficulty. Well, gird your loins for that. All the best to you on your B1 and B2s, folks, if that's what you're doing. Let's give Paul Rees a nice big round of applause. He joins us now live from the central Portugal. Hola, bon dia, Paul.
Hola, bon dia.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Enjoying the September into October weather.
Do you know what? I experienced a fresh breeze.
Fantastic.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd say this in Portugal. Glad of a little bit of a fresh breeze and a chill in the air. It's actually very pleasant, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 29 yesterday. That's great.
Yeah, maybe you don't get the same maritime breeze. You won't do over there, will you? But yes, we get the heat, we get the brightness. That brightness, that beautiful autumnal light is very special as well. So really enjoying it, like you, by the sound of it.
Yes, it's almost the best time of year, really, because the roads are clear, tourists have gone, and everything's still open. And it's just, as you say, the light. I mean, where I am in central Portugal, it's the green and the blue. It's fantastic. And of course, we had a mega full moon.
Oh yes, the harvester's moon.
Harvest moon, yeah, it's fantastic. It sort of lit the
Yeah.
whole place up. So yeah, my environment, it brings great pleasure, I must say. Yeah.
What, aren't you a lucky man to be able to say that? And as I look again at this camera angle, I'm going to have to move that lanyard. It just looks like I'm on death row, doesn't it? It looks horrifically like a noose hanging up behind me there. I'm going to get that moved after the show. That was a really bad placement of some of my growing Portuguese memorabilia here. It's from the band Assad de Gatos, who I was doing a video shoot with in the hills of Coimbra in Miranda. Just a couple of weeks ago, and a lanyard they kindly gave to me, but I'm going to have to move it. So, Paul, glad to hear you're happy and well in central Portugal. We will have a look at your latest renovation, or I suppose I should say one of, also talk a little bit about Pedroga Grande. When I mentioned it and the horrific fires of 2017, sadly, Adrian said that some people still haven't been compensated for the woes and difficulties that they suffered with in 2017, and obviously still suffer with in some ways. It was a horrific event. But you're here to talk about the regeneration of the area and how it's experiencing an uplift from that horrific time.
Well, I think that the only way was up, in the words of...
Right.
2017, I moved here just after the fires. So I wasn't in them or witnessed them, but certainly know many people that were... obviously that didn't die in them. There are 56 deaths. Most, sorry, it's more than that. 60 over 60 deaths. Most of which were in cars between Castanheira de Pera and the main road across, going west across to Figueira das Vinhas, which is now referred to as the Road of Death. Is actually a very pleasant, if you can call it that, memorial involving a lake and a waterfall.
I have seen that. Yes.
Yeah. So it's just really, it was awful times, and it turned out that the actual fire and what happened in terms of the sort of physical nature of the fire was a complete one-off. I mean, it's never happened in Europe. There's even a National Geographic documentary on it, but basically it was several fires that joined in a column of extremely superheated air and smoke, which then collapsed. And it is a phenomenon, but an extremely rare one, and it's devastating. So kind of whoever was underneath that had no chance. Yeah, the fire service couldn't be held responsible for that. There was a court case that every charge was dismissed. There's a court case against officials, against the fire service, that were doing their best, for goodness sake.
Yeah, right.
Against EDP for for letting trees grow up. But somewhat nonsensical, I think. But everyone should have their day in court. But it was those charges were dismissed. Sadly, after the event, there was a lot of money sloshing around, and where there's money, there are sharks.
Yeah, right.
And despicable politicians generally, and civil servants. So there was an amount of fraud afterwards, with houses being rebuilt where there were sheds before, where there was nothing before, and so the compensation. It's about, I think the official compensation figure is about 30 million. And how that was distributed was, let me be polite and say it was lumpy. But I think that the real effect really was on the villagers. The fire was called Pedroga Grande because that's the camera area. I mean, it didn't start in the town.
Okay. Right.
It was to the north of the town, actually in a village, I think it's called Nodarinho. Was sort of official start point, and pretty devastating for those little villages dotted around. Shocking times. Those who lost loved ones, there has been compensation. I don't know if all of it's been paid. I'm sure there's hoops to jump through. But there was a national recognition that this was, they didn't know it at the time, but a one-off event, a sad event. It's one of those events where the president's there the next day, kissing
Yes.
babies, shaking hands. Which is
Well,
which
yeah,
is
and I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it was
yeah,
pretty much when we arrived in Portugal, and I was so horrified and scared by what was happening. And then, when I could smell smoke in the air, I was in Tamar. We arrived, and
yeah,
we were living near Tamar, and I'd never experienced anything like this before, so I didn't realize that we weren't under some massive fire effect, and that how fires are very separate
yeah,
around the country. But when I was seeing these images on TV, as you said, a president going to people's aid and
yeah,
comfort,
yeah,
and a state of national emergency and tragedy, and
yeah,
then seeing charred trees, and then smelling well, having ashes in the air and the smell in the distance, we evacuated from where we were living inland, and that's how we discovered San Martino de Porto in the end.
yeah.
But I'd never seen anything like it, and clearly the Portuguese people themselves, although used to wildfires, had never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, I think that's the point. The country areas, they are used to it. I mean,
Yeah.
there were many other fires that year. It was a severe drought
Hmm.
and roasting hot. I mean, absolutely perfect conditions. Other fires that year killed as many people, and they happen where there's a forestry industry.
Yes.
It happens. It's a question of how you deal with it. It's a question of maintenance, and then if there is an incident, a lot of which are arson,
Yeah.
it's a question of how quickly that's dealt with. And I think if anything positive comes out of the 2017 fires here, it is the national debate and the fairly rapid boosting of firefighting equipment, resources, air support, and maintenance.
Yeah.
The roadside maintenance now, I never quite understood why it's so important, but there are crews out strimming relentlessly month in, month out,
Yeah.
keeping the road. I mean, it makes the place look a lot neater. But I mean, the key is forestry and who owns and who manages it. And much of the planted land is officially sort of it's unknown who owns
That's
it.
the
But
problem, isn't
strangely,
it?
it's planted and harvested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a big industry. The government has a problem in that it's Navigator, it's the toilet roll companies, it's all the West Coast factories that employ thousands are reliant on growing trees further inland in ideal conditions, which is the west of the central region.
Yeah.
So people bang on about, it's eucalyptus. It is, most trees are flammable. And yes, we can go back to just cork oaks and natural species, but you're not going to be making toilet rolls out of cork oak. So there is an economic argument on the other side, but it's still badly, I would say the forestry side of it is still badly maintained. And you can see areas where the landowner takes it responsibly.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Scrub cleared and the access roads are there, and it's as it should be.
Yeah.
But there is a load that is just left as scrubland because on paper nobody owns it.
Yes, a
Anyway,
tricky situation.
The question was, how has the town rebounded? I would say because of the political fallout and the sort of corruption trials and who was diverting money and this, that, and the other, that just increased resentment. Sort of the little person versus the state. Yeah, there were payouts, but they're kind of soon forgotten. I think it's more to do with recognition, and certainly the monument helped. But people are still suffering and will do. It's a big tragedy. It's like the people who died in the tram in Lisbon, completely freak accident, if you like. Okay, it could be down to lack of maintenance, whatever, but those people have suffered a sudden loss.
Yeah.
And that happens in life. It's when there's a large number of people at the same time.
Yeah.
It is difficult. It is difficult. But I think since which the loss of life through fires has been minimal.
I think you're right. It was a wake-up call, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a huge national tragedy, subsequently a wake-up call. and we're being told by Matty here, our community is connected, and not least with you now and the work you're doing over that way, and being able to tell us the backstory here. It was the road to Villa where Jason lives, akin to
Yes,
Santiago.
on that road, yeah.
Yeah, their car stopped working. Yeah, it was the oxygen starvation, I think, that was a real problem, wasn't it, with cars that no one was expecting as well. This is also interesting, Matty. This is one approach. Since I live on my farm, I stopped using toilet paper at all, saving trees. We do have the great Portuguese bidet, which would be another solution. I think bidet users think toilet paper is terribly uncivilized. Anyway, let's perhaps come right up to date and look at what's going on. Jason's moved there. You've moved there. Perhaps it will be a long time for people who are grieving and who lost people, and that legacy will be there. The monuments there, and life goes on, of course, and it remains a beautiful part of the country, a beautiful part of the world. And it maybe it falls on the shoulders of others to take it forward and attend to some of the forlorn landscapes and buildings. I think that's a fair description of what you're doing, is it not?
Well, forlorn, I would say I'd never see an old building as forlorn. I see it in need of love.
Needy, or in need, right? Okay,
indeed, in need of love. But yeah, Pedregal Grande itself, inherently, it's a pretty ancient site, and yeah, there are some buildings that need to be renovated, others that have been renovated. Basically, it's a camera town, so there is a council, so there's finances, there's social security, there's I think there are three banks and 2 chemists, so it's quite a good. It's a good size. If you're from Northern Europe, you wouldn't really call it a town. It's a sort of more like a large village. But yeah, the property market there is, I would say, fairly steady veering towards brisk.
Cool.
It is good. Yeah, and we've got the one project there, which is the old, as you know, the old church-run hostel. There we are, hostel stroke hospital. I mean, that dates back to the late 1500s. So it's a pretty.
How close is it to the centre of town, Paul? This one?
It's the edge of the historic zone. So to walk from there to what I would to the camera, to the park, if you like, is 5 minutes.
Great. That park is lovely. I remember visiting. It's a charming town, no question. It's a lovely little restaurant there, and that little park in the middle is great as well. So a great town, and it is a town and a district. Did you say like a camera district as well? Isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah, there's a camera. Yeah, it's the municipality.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we got a little bit of video as well of this.
You probably got to before of the old bar, shop, and accommodation.
Okay. Did you say I've got 4 before? I've got 4 videos.
Have you?
I don't know. I think I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Before. Yeah.
Yikes! I don't remember receiving.
I think I did a walk around on when we bought it.
I've got that loading up now. I'll take a look at that, and we've got some nice stills as well. While we're waiting for that to load, is there a proud owner of Casa Adelina yet? Not
yet. We've got some American couple coming on the 14th, and a few lined up. So that's
excellent stuff.
That's
I'm
good.
so glad to hear it. Right, we're going in.
Yeah, this is the first floor of this house. This was never really abandoned, just unlived in.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
I remember this room because I refer to it as the lounge. We'll see a still of that in a minute. So the lady that owned this had moved to Lisbon. So this first floor had been lived in, obviously. And always suspicious when you see lino on the floor as to what lies underneath.
What lies beneath?
Which was rotten wood on a slope and rotten beams. And then there was upstairs rooms with a corner almost collapsed. And don't know what happened to all this furniture. Actually, I must have it in the warehouse somewhere.
Right. If anyone needs a 5-foot-long bed,
exactly. Yeah.
Paul's got loads of them. I think. Right.
So this back bit I will refer to in a minute as the kitchen, which was a sort of kitchen and a massive chimney, and then a rather overgrown garden.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was difficult to buy this at the right price because firstly the lady selling it had a huge emotional attachment because she'd been brought up in it. It'd been in the family. I asked how long it had been in the family, and the husband of the owner sort of shrugged and said, we probably bought it off the church at some point. So that probably the 1700s. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, this had been a vibrant, happy home. Even the town archivist remembers playing in the garden as a sort of
Really? How wonderful.
So it was quite an interesting.
So lots of original features.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
this is a great moment in your job, isn't it? In your working day, to go and see places like this, and it's a real journey of discovery, isn't it? Literally.
Well, it's the tough bit actually, because I could wander around like a romantic, saying, "Oh, how they lived in the past." Actually, what I've got to do is look at structure, look at volume, look at what could be built and at what price, at what cost, and then the key thing when I'm walking around is to project forward and say, right, if this was a 3-bedroom ensuite with 2 lounges, what would it sell for? Yeah. And then I take that, I discount it, then I work back, and if I can get a figure that reaches our margin target, then I'm interested. If not, I've walked away from so many beautiful buildings that if it was for me to live in, I would have bought them in an instant. Yeah, but it's a margin business. So and this one was fine on that. Yeah. But it does then determine, if you reel that back, it determines the buying price, which is sometimes a disappointing shock for the vendor, but generally pretty accurate on what something's worth, because.
It's funny, isn't it? I think we see things in terms of the society we live in, like the medium is the message. So we imagine you as a filmmaker with a David Attenborough voice, moving around the place, as you say, chronicling the history. But yeah, you've got to make some tough decisions while you're in there. So perhaps not so romantic and actually quite.
I see some amazing places. I never buy anywhere that I can't imagine myself living in.
That's a good guide. Yes,
that's quite an important rule.
And some detail here. So that's the step up into the back garden, isn't it? And we
created a step.
And this is a feature that's been preserved above the front door here.
Yeah, that was from the old church nearby. No one knows where, but that church was demolished and rebuilt nearby in 1611. So it gives an idea of the age of this
rich history. Size of those mullions, Paul.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just redoing everything. In the background was the remains of an old chapel, so that would be a pool and a sauna.
In the secular age.
In the secular age, it's a bit of an upgrade. It's an unconsecrated old chapel.
Contemplation of a different.
It was a chapel. The archivist, who's wonderful, said, "Oh, by the way, you get a chapel in the garden." I didn't realize it was a chapel. It was more like a tool shed, but you could see from the old walls that it had been there a while. So we kind of filled in the old walls to create the original footprint.
It's a monk's tool shed. Are you digging a moat as well? Are you having some fun with a JCB there?
No, JCB, no. That is enshada dug by our termites.
Really?
It's to run water and electricity over to the.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Some nice renovation going on.
That's the kitchen. So the kitchen now is not divided into 2. It's now full height, and there's room for a long kitchen and a kitchen table. It's not such a good angle, that.
I see Rural Properties classic white, a white background against which you can envisage your life and imagine it there.
It's not just white, Carl.
What is it? Mushroom?
It's cloud white.
I'm so sorry.
It's cloud white. And the walls now are a particular trademark grey that took.
Yes, I've noticed that as well in your palette. Rural Properties palette. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. Oh, fantastic. It's
So
taken
that's the bit we were wandering through earlier.
it's really blimey.
That's the
Right.
front lounge, which is now all open. The steps we went up to are in the sort of middle of the picture, slightly to the right.
Cool.
That goes up into now 2 en suites. There's one of them.
And a nice detail, little bit of a sconce. Would you call that a sconce on the wall?
No,
What is a sconce then? Sorry, what
I call it a cubby hole.
cubby hole? Come on, there's got to be a more exciting and sexy
I
name than
can't
cubby
get
hole.
it. I do everything in Portuguese. I do not know the Portuguese for sconce or architrave.
Right. Okay. Actually, I'm looking up sconce now, and a sconce. I thought a sconce was a little, like an interior thing, an inward detail rather than outer one. It's a candle holder. So my bad
It's in
on that.
Scottish. Yeah, I've got a corbel, if
An
that's
end
any help.
sconce. Okay.
I have repurposed the corbel.
Okay. Well done. Good man. Glad to
Every,
hear it.
every home should have one.
Yes, yeah, brilliant. Okay, and it's great how you're reserving some of the original details and the beautiful stone wall there. That's another angle on the
Yeah, that's the lounge. So the low
Yeah.
wall at the end was a full height wall, but it had to
Beautiful.
go just to create the flow better.
Wonderful. Yeah, there it is.
So,
Beautiful. Big room.
this has been enormous fun, and from a commercial point of view, opposite the house there was 1901 in perfect condition on some land referred to as the Yellow House, or more latterly the Dutch House, because the Dutch families owned it for a few years. And that I understand that an offer was accepted on Saturday for buying that, and that was well over 700,000. So I'm pleased to see that prices are now reflecting the inherent value of these properties.
Wonderful.
But basically, because that's opposite, it firms the price on R1 when it comes to the market, which will be shortly.
Very good. Very
So
good.
it's good. There's you can still get cheap, but there's a reason why properties are cheap. There's a reason why the farms and small holdings around Castelo Branco side, the east side of the central region, are a lot cheaper than this side, because the road network is less. You're further from Lisbon. It's a whole combination of factors. So that's why I chose the west central region, because you've got the north-south Lisbon Porto road. You've got access to Coimbra, which is enormously valuable asset, if you like. Not just because it's got hospitals, it's got culture and history.
Oh, I love being over there the other day. Yeah.
So I think there's an inherent value in location, but it's reflected in price. People aren't stupid. The property market actually is pretty sensitive and intelligent, and it's made up of a lot of individual decisions. So it's hard to influence. I could say, oh yes, buy here, it's fantastic. At the end of the day, people only buy where they want to buy.
Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't blame them if they wanted to buy one of your properties in that location. Love Central Portugal, and you've been instrumental in re-stimulating my interest in that part of the country, as I'm sure you have with lots of other people as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and shows like this help. People look at this, and I'm not a lone voice. There's plenty of people pushing the area, because there's a lot of love for the area, and there's a lot of inherent value in living in the area.
Absolutely. Well, long may it continue, and great work on reviving that part of the country after the tragic event that happened there in 2017 that we spoke about earlier on. Thanks, Paul. It's called a niche, not what you're doing commercially, although that is a niche as well, but the little niche in the wall. You get to see a saint or a virgin statue in them from time to time. Now that all makes sense, doesn't it? And just one note here, Paul, before you go. Paul, if you ever need chandeliers restringing, it's something I do. That's not an offer you get from a lady every morning, is it? I don't suppose.
Well, it's actually really useful, because
Good to know. I'll connect you.
I looked at a big chandelier for that lounge area and ended up actually buying something really modern and enormous and sort of artsy.
Okay.
I used to buy chandeliers in the Algarve. There's a great shop between Oliao and Faro. He was my
Well,
chandelier supplier, but boy, I could have needed
my
some.
chandelier supplier. My
No, he
goodness.
was
Who can
fantastic.
say that?
He was-
Bobby O'Reilly probably can. He's joining us in just a moment. But if anyone needs their chandelier
Bobby
restrung,
will know.
not a euphemism,
I know,
get in
exactly.
touch with Jackie.
So thank you very much for the offer.
Glad you came, right? Glad you came.
Yeah,
Listener.
absolutely.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you
Cheers.
so much. Much
Have a
appreciated.
good
We'll see
one.
you again next month. All right. Take care, mate. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. I think we should keep that applause going. I'm going to see him on Friday. About time too. Bobby O'Reilly. Where have you been? Where you been?
I'm actually in Barcelona at the minute.
You're actually in Barcelona for breakfast this morning, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. My guests are so great, aren't they? One's got a chandelier supplier. Now Bobby O'Reilly joins us from breakfast in Barcelona. I'm in my garage. How are you, Bobby? To the bone.
I'm good. I had to sneak into a hotel that I'm not staying in because I got kicked out of my one early this morning. So
Really?
I'm sort of snuggled up in the corner here trying to
Right.
stay out of the way. So if you hear some people making noise, etc., it's the people who are staying in the hotel. So.
Oh, how dare they? How dare
Yeah.
they? I've turned you up. I think you're having to whisper because you've
Ah.
hidden yourself in a hotel. It's all good. It's all good. And
good.
great to have you here. And the reason, well, it's always good to have a chat with you anyway. But I'll see you Friday because the show home, Herdad de Meyer, has its official opening. And this weekend, a long weekend of celebration, and the doors are being thrown open so anyone can pop along and see what it's going to be like to live at Herdad de Meyer. Congratulations on that, Bobby.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're having a bit of a party, so there'll be a nice barbecue going on. There'll be catering. There'll be open bar, etc. Between 12 to 6 o'clock. So in the garden, so people will be able to come along, see the house. It's furnished. We still have a couple of touch-up bits and pieces, but
Always
you get
right.
the idea when you come. But I think there's about, I don't know how many people, but there's a couple of hundred people already confirmed that they're coming.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy one. Friday, basically we're there from 10, but we're saying 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock typically is when the majority of people will be passing through. So Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And we have a couple of special guests as well. There'll be music. There'll be just a little party atmosphere so people get to see what's going on. But also there you're going to have the finance guys, so the guys that do the mortgages and etc. So we'll have some special offers on the day with regards to financing options that we've put together with a local broker, and they can get up to 90% mortgage in most cases. And the houses are, as people will see when they come, they're about 70% finished, 67% finished, the rest of them, and we'll start doing handovers probably early next year. And we now have a new also design for the hotel next door. That we're going to do a new hotel next door with a big swimming pool.
Hold on a minute. You can't just cram that casually into the conversation. What hotel next door?
Yeah. So we're also building it's only a small boutique hotel that has a lot of services with it as well, that also the people from Herdad de Meyer get to use. So, sorry, I'm getting some guests now looking at photographs around me here.
Don't worry.
So I was thinking it's a museum, but anyway,
Right.
moving on. But so we've redesigned the sort of what we would have called the sort of the social side of it, and the social side of it now will also have a big swimming pool. It'll have a small boutique hotel. It'll have a restaurant. It will have gymnasium, etc. as well. That's already started with regards to the groundworks and the planning and so on, which will complement what's going on in Herdad de Meyer as it is. So
superb. Well done, great job.
So looking forward to seeing people there, and they'll see what's going on, and also then be able to meet the people behind the actual work that's been going on, and the mortgages and the finance, etc. and all. So easy peasy.
Great, and a bit of live streaming. So we'll keep you connected with what's going on there on Friday. If you want to tune in to a bit of live streaming from Herdad de Mayo. Loving the finishes and the interiors here. These are the visualizations that you've been working towards. And this is what it's going to be looking like inside the show home, is it?
Yes.
Fantastic.
It's amazing when you put the furniture into the place how well it comes together. Because again, you're talking at 250 square meters of a house. You park 3 cars inside. You have the smart homes, you have the full autonomy with the electricity, the solar panels, etc. And you have, I suppose, probably the easiest thing is that you're only a couple of minutes from central Lisbon because you have the train, 5-minute walk. So you're very close to Lisbon by train. Also, you're on the A33 and on the A2. So from an affordability point of view, with regards to a 250 square meter villa with a 400 square meter garden with a private swimming pool, plus all the extra amenities, plus the solar, plus the smart home, 10 minutes from Fontatelia Beach for between 650,000 euros. If you look at Lisbon, what you get for 650,000 euros, it's a 60, 70 square meter apartment in most cases. So it's family living. It's got everything around it. It's got lots of parks. It's got lots of, it's beside the golf, again, in Herdad de Mayo. So
yes, of course.
Centrally located, everything around you, very easy access into Lisbon by either the A2 or the A33, and also the ferry. So and the train. So you have plenty of options in. So hopefully
very good. Looking forward to seeing it. Really, it's been a long time coming. Obviously, these projects, major projects, take a long time, but it must be very satisfying for you. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, very excited to see actually the first of the houses and the show houses finished. Like we've more than, I think we've about 60% sold already. 70 villas, 60% sold.
Fantastic. Well done, Claudio.
Sold before people even saw a show house. So I think what's happened now when I see it and to see the finance options that's available, it makes it very easy for them to buy it as well. So you can come in, you put down like 10% as a deposit, and you get a 90% mortgage, etc. as well. So there's going to be lots of people there to advise them based on their age, based on what they want to do, on the term they want to do, the types of different mortgages that are out there as well. So it's come along, see the house, but also see how you can buy it. And it's actually cheaper than renting it.
Right. Okay. Very good. I've got those details. Should anybody want those, I can pass them on with the financing there. Are you going into boats? Can you buy a boat now as well?
The boats. We've already. We are. Our group has expanded dramatically. So basically, as you know, we have the new project coming up, Vista Bay, and Vista Bay is going to be on the waterfront in Seychelles. It's around 500 apartments, all very, very high end, but we're hoping to build our own marina there as well. And we have our own boats that will bring people from there directly into Lisbon. You have the ferry, of course, but the idea is that you will have a taxi service directly into Lisbon as well.
Good Lord. You know, I was joking when I said, are you doing boats as well? And of course, your response is, yeah, well, of course, we've got boats. Fantastic. Vista Bay then, again, casually snuck into the conversation. Most people, I think, will be thinking it's quite an undertaking to build 80 homes. It is 80, isn't it? Herdad de Mayo? Is that right? 70 homes. I mean, still... 70 homes is pretty extraordinary, is it not? But did you mention 500 homes that you're now building a little bit further up the road? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so here we've partnered with Alves Ribeiro, who is probably one of the largest developers in Portugal. And basically they've come in as to build the project with us. And the credibility of Alves Ribeiro is basically they don't need the banks. They have their own bank, but they're famous in Portugal for their credibility, their standards, etc. And once the first brick is laid, the last brick is for sure going to be laid as well. And that's the big thing about Vista Bay is that the development partner that we have is there's no doubts, and once people realize who the developer is behind it, there's no doubts with regards to that it'll get built. Not only that, we have Nuno Leonidas, who's the architect. He's just a phenomenal architect. The project's going to be one of the best, I believe, in Portugal ever, because of what he's doing. Like I'll share the project with you later on, But what he's doing, like it's all green, it's all amphitheatre. There's shops, restaurants around the front, there's pontoons where boats can come and park, etc. It's absolutely stunning project, and we hope to crack ground in March of next year. So,
Wow.
a lot going on.
Yeah, turn me back for a minute. You haven't spoken for a while, and you're building Vista Bay when you come back and return to Good Morning Portugal show with 500 homes and its own boat transportation. And what a great area to be in around there. It's an exciting site and location as well, is it not?
No, it's an amazing location. Like it's directly across from from Lisbon directly by boat, and you have the ferry. That's a 5-minute walk as well. It's 18 minutes by ferry into Kaiserslautern today. But the idea as well is that we will have our own boat taxis, because you're talking about 500 apartments here, and they're going to be on the high end side of it. You'll have service apartments, but also you're going to have some office. You're going to have independent senior living, retirement as well.
That's a good call.
Open also to build a private school in the same area. To basically, because there's a lot of foreign people looking to move to Seychelles, because of basically the infrastructure that's already existing, but what's happening as well. We're also looking to do a new marina there and a new hotel, along with the marina and a commercial centre as well in Seychelles. So the idea is to focus on Seychelles. Herdad de Mayo is in Seychelles, and we're focusing on Seychelles as a group, adding value to everything that already pre-exists there and what we're building to it as well. So for us, it's a strategic location for investment, for indirect investment, and we'll continue to invest. Probably majority of our investments will stick around the Seychelles area going forward.
Amazing. You could almost say he sells Seychelles on the Seychelles shore. Could you not? I don't suppose anyone else has ever said that, and hopefully they won't ever again. But you're welcome to that if your marketing team, if they're stuck. Amazing, Bobby. Congratulations on all of this. It's absolutely fantastic. Just in the last couple of minutes we've got, we used to talk a lot, didn't we, about what was needed in the bigger picture. It looks like the government have been listening to you and other influencers in the development scene. There are some favourable changes, are there not? If not actually happening, then proposed in the direction you might be thinking is quite favourable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've drawn a line in the sand with regards to price points to incentivize builders to be able to make it more affordable by reducing 23% to 6%, provided that the price points stay under, I think, 648,000 per maximum of I'm not sure the size of on the locations, but it still has to go through, I believe, the final stages, and there is a bit of backlash against it, saying that it's sort of the price is too high and so on. But as I said before many times, that the taxes that's involved in building a house and buying a house is the reason the price of a house is so expensive. It's a lot of the reason the house is so expensive, and it's the reason that you don't have the volume of units being built that's actually required for the market. And why the market is so tight and so uplifting is because and going up is because the foreign direct buyers are now moving, especially from the US, as you know. And what they're looking for is the high-end market. Majority of them are looking for the high-end market. And the high-end market is where you can actually create a spread above the construction price. So people are not incentivized to build in the 250 to 300,000 euro market, because it's too tight. The model's too tight. If you got the land for free, in some cases, it's still tight. If the market takes a dip whatsoever, your property project could be stopped. So clarity of your end user and who your market's going to be, your profit margins need to be there to make sure that you have room, that in the event that there is a shift in the market for whatever geopolitical reason, that you're able to absorb it as well. So they're starting to look at how can they fix, and they have a big problem still, and they're going to have a problem for a long time until they get the taxation part of it right. Not just the taxation. I always said it, part with regards to affordability and people's salaries and the amount of taxes that are taken out of people's salaries and the social security system that they have needs to be addressed before they can really start fixing the problem. But again, I'm not a politician. I'm just a developer. But it for me, it's simple facts, or simple makes sense that if you want people to be able to afford housing, you need to make more housing. So you have a bigger spread and supply, so it's not monopolized. And also you have to put money in people's pockets, more money in
Yeah.
people's pockets. They actually have to spend more.
Yeah, it looks like it's going in the right direction, and so fingers crossed for that and for Portugal. To find out more, uhp.pt for your home, and also herdademayo.com, and we'll see you there on Friday. There's one other thing, quite a prosaic thing that you might be able to help us with. We were looking at the days of the week. Can we have the Irish pronunciation? Because I kind of fluffed this myself and
Decadium.
didn't dare go there. What's it called? What's Wednesday in Irish?
Decadium.
Oh, that's quite easy, isn't it? Decadian. Okay,
One of
thank
them
you very much.
Decadium. So Decadium.
Decadian. Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that, Bobby. And thank you for finding an impromptu hotel location to speak to us from Barcelona.
Yeah.
Have you got to have another breakfast now? Or are you going to sneak back out again?
I love those little sort of crispy breads with the jamon serrano.
Stop it.
Oh, I had 2 this morning already.
Did you? You might have to get a third one by way of a
course.
thank you to that hotel where you've taken refuge this morning. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us.
All right.
All the best to you and the team there. We'll see Claudia, of course, everybody.
Sorry,
Go
I
on.
know you're late, but I forgot to tell you. We'll be launching our new platform for the Golden Visa through agents who are already in Portugal, but also in the US, etc. We'll be launching that very, very soon, which basically will help anyone who's listening who's trying to bring American clients and clients from other places to Portugal. Mm-hmm. We've got the perfect solution that will help them to be able to expand their business and the net value of their clients going forward. So anyone who's interested in that, please don't be afraid to drop us an email, and it's Bobby at uhp.pt, and we can basically show you what our new platform does. It's basically magic.
What have you done? What's the USP on this? Have you taken some of the mystery out of it?
Basically, sort of, but it's a fairly in-depth conversation, because what we've done is we've simplified everything, especially the opening of the banks and the compliance part. So we now have our own venture capital fund, and we have our own property fund, etc. And the idea is that the clients can invest in ours, or we have 6 other venture capital funds that we work with as well, depending on person's attitude towards risk. But also we have mechanisms within the investment that allows them to have more participation from a results point of view, but also from, let's say, the frustrations that the clients would have had over the years about, like, what's happening with my process, how I have my bank account open, etc. So we have our own compliance department that basically submits and does everything for you. So from now on, you will have on a sort of an app that basically they can upload all the documentation, which is we approve everything in advance, and then basically submit it to the bank, submit it for compliance for the VC, for the fund, and also submit the Golden Visa directly. Then the actual person who's submitting the details for the clients can see exactly what's going on, and the client can themselves as well. But it's more broader than that, and it's another day's conversation. And I'm in LA. I'm actually in Dubai next week, onboarding new agents, because what it is the agency part of it is built in such a way that they're going to use their own high net worth individuals to basically introduce this platform to, and they're getting paid from an introductory point of view, or they can get paid from actually what they call completing the file point of view. So it depends on how much they want to put in. And I'm in LA meeting a lot of other agents and other onboarders, as we call them, in November, January, February, March. I'm in the US onboarding guys. So I think that for anyone out there who's in that market where they're trying to bring and have a network for the Golden Visa platform, they should come at least and listen to what we have to say. And I think they're going to like it, and it's going to make life an awful lot easier for them. And they get to sell them a nice big property as well. So
Everyone's a winner. Fantastic. And good for Portugal, I think, as well. So thanks, Bobby. Yeah, that was quite a PS. I mean, you shared so much with us this morning. Lots going on in your world. Thank you for fitting us in. Well, thank you for fitting us in between Barcelona, Dubai, and LA. So see you Friday. Looking forward to that. Thanks for being with us this morning. All the best. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, buddy.
See you. All right. Bye for now.
Bye.
Now, I was going to play the outro there, but I see there's quite a lot of IMA chat, and I've got a little story to tell. I'm trying to get somebody on the show. You're moaning quite a lot, Mr. S, about IMA. You don't believe in IMA. When you pay their fees, as the T-Duck's saying, you get to believe in them. Yeah, I believe in IMA. Their fees are very real, and they believe in you. You help pay their salaries. Hundreds of people, Mr. S says, undergoing renewals are given a hideous time at IMA. It's gone bizarre. And there are reasons for that, as has been explained to us week after week by Gilda. EI. I wish IMA understood how much they depend on us and other immigrants. IMA has it against Americans big time. Now, somebody of a different nationality, I'm the messenger, don't shoot the messenger, the moaning messenger this morning, somebody of a group of people from a different nationality, not Americans, who have some developer skills as well, not the kind that Bobby has of bricks and mortar development, but IT development, thought, well, we're not getting the service we want from IMA. They were techie people, and they thought to themselves, why don't we approach the techies? We should be able to find the techies behind the IMA website where we're facing this bug. They tracked them down on LinkedIn. They found them, and they got those techies to manually input the information. Now, that is some out-of-the-box creative thinking, is it not? And I'm trying to get this person on the show to talk about that. And when you find out how much the tender was, and then how much the government are actually paying to make the renewals website, you'll begin to understand why it's such a mess. IMA and the government haven't exactly pushed the boat out when it comes to having the best and latest tech online and on the internet, such that people can process applications and get their renewals sorted out. And actually, that coming to light might be quite helpful in all of this. That's not a place to save money and scrimp, is it? Where people are experiencing the interface. And I'm hoping to bring onto the show a very creative thinker in this regard, who reached out direct to the techies who are behind a pretty poor website by anyone's measure, I suspect. And probably the people working on it don't feel adequately funded either. So that will be amazing to chat to that particular person. And what an amazing thing to do, right? To think to yourself, hold on a minute, if I speak to the people behind the website, not the government and not the immigration service, but the actual technical people who are behind the website, maybe I can get them to change it. And apparently that has continued, and they have been reporting and suggesting bug fixes, and it's a really excellent outcome, and hopefully there'll be more of that. We recently did an address update on IMA. It was very easy, and they were very friendly. It did take 4.5 months to get the appointment, but while there, they were prompt, efficient, and spoke English. And this is what you'll find, isn't it? Again, it's a bit like the bank thing I mentioned before. It's about people, and it's about branches. It's not necessarily about the corporate the stance or front. The NIST requirement has members of the expats forum going crazy. It's awful. Well, that is where that kind of out-of-the-box lateral thinking is needed, and to go to the techies direct. And I'm hoping to get this person on the show, and they'll tell you more about it. Have a great day. Lovely to see Paul. Lovely to see all of you. Lovely to see Bobby as well. And we'll be seeing him on Friday. Maybe I'll see you there if you're popping across to enjoy the fun at Herda de Mayo on Friday, and a whole lot more fun by the sound of it. Boats and Vista Bay and Sejal and all these wonderful things Bobby was telling us about. How exciting. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao. You're absolutely right. Adios. Oh, yes, by the way, before I go, one more thing, as Columbo would say. See you at the meetup. Coach Turner's here. in San Martin de Porto, and he'll be joining us. Creator, of course, of our God Squad, Growing Old Disgracefully program, Gentle Fitness for Bon Viveurs. We'll be doing a bit of that, bit of Bon Viveur-vacity at the meetup at 1 o'clock at Palmeira here in San Martin de Porto. I don't know if we'll be doing any gentle fitness. We'll see. We'll see what the coach has in mind to us. But if you want to chat with him, hang out and have lunch, he'll be there from 1 at Palmeira here in San Martin de Porto.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need